the opinion of some that I am a restless soul, feckless and work-shy. It is true that life has not gone my way, but there are reasons for that. At 15, I started at a grand estate as a gardener. The family had made their fortune in shipping, but as is the way of these things, the money had slipped through the hands of a profligate generation. The estate was heavily mortgaged. After 10 years or so, the house and grounds were sold and I was laid off. I had been happy in my work and I was well liked. Having to leave my position changed my way of thinking. If I could be so dismissed so easily after all I had done to better myself, then why should I try again to please anybody? But this is illogical. I see that now. It's indicative of a flaw in my personality. My life took a dark turn after that. I was a young man with a trade, and I never could settle in any new place. I was always looking for a reason to leave. I drifted along, getting by, always on the periphery of life. I have to understand why this malaise has affected me so profoundly. I realize now that I constantly hark back to my time at the great house. Remembering incidents and conversations which took place all those years ago. In my mind's eye, I can picture the buildings, the grounds in intricate detail, and then these thoughts gradually change from musings to something more frightening. I begin to experience a distressing, recurring nightmare, in which I'm back on the estate and I'm being chastised for something that I haven't done. Night after night, I wake sweating and dry-mouthed. I'm haunted by my memories. The dreams will not stop. I decide to return to the house and lay the ghosts that come to me nightly. I've heard that the estate has languished unloved for many years and is up for sale again. There's talk of demolition. Well, this might be my last chance to lay the ghosts, make peace with the past. I make my way along the old drover's road and arrive at the gatehouse. It's dawn. I stand between the stone pillars, looking around me. The sky is washed pink with autumn light. There's a lively breeze and I button up tightly. The gates are long gone and a sign on a rusty chain tells me to keep out. I duck underneath and I start to walk down the drive. It feels so familiar, the way it twists and turns. I've made that journey 1,000 times. Although nature is reclaiming the land, I know where the deepest ruts are going to be. I know where the gully at the side is going to be in flood after yesterday's rain. I know where I'll see the sycamore whose branches dip low over the road. At the final turn in the drive, the main house comes to view, and it is a shocking sight. The roof has been stripped of lead, and the windows stare blankly. I stare back. Moved by the desolate appearance of that once beautiful building, I continue my exploration. In the walled gardens, the greenhouses have collapsed under the weight of bramble bushes and saplings. The same greenhouses upon which I lavished hours of care. I breathe in the aroma of decaying leaves and something darker, more pungent. I touch the jagged edge of a cold frame full of stagnant water. I walk further, past the rotting stable block with its shattered windows and crumbling stonework, through the meadows where the ponies once grazed. I make for the wooded area, planted on the slope of a hill where I learned to coppice willow and fell timber. It's a forest now, overgrown, dark and almost impenetrable. In my day, the younger apprentices would gather there, after work, light fires, smoke cigarettes, and talk about the happenings of the day. There was a clearing where we made a swing, I remember. Under the trees, the ground is slippery, and I'm glad of my strong boots. The undergrowth is dense with ferns, gorse and bracken, tangled with fallen trees. The bark of an ash is velvet soft with moss. The air is damp and cold, and I am deep in thought, remembering faces from the past. And I notice something peculiar. It's quiet, completely quiet. Not a sound to be heard. No bird song. This time of year it's usually deafening. But here, now, complete silence. A silence that doesn't fit. A heavy, oppressive silence. I stop dead and I try to make sense of it. Suddenly, out of the corner of my eye, I see this flash of light appear and then disappearing round the back of a tree, like when the sun hits a piece of metal. It's there for just a second, and when I strain my eyes to look, there's nothing. I hold my breath and I tense every muscle in my body, not daring to move. My ears ring with the deafening absence of noise. I clamber up the bank. It's darker the further I go, darker and colder, and I stumble on exposed roots. I arrive in the clearing. There's not a breath of wind. All is still. And then I see it. A rope hanging from a branch. It's old, it's green with lichen, and it's swinging to and fro. Swinging like there's something heavy hanging from it, from the noose at the end of it. The noose is empty. I am a restless soul. Life hasn't gone my way. There are reasons